It's happening in every neighborhood.
Open the door! Who is he? Huh? This is why you really want to leave me.
No, I didn't.
Down every street. Sickness. Addiction. And violence has been turning countless homes into crime scenes. Suffering. Depressed. Alone. Suicidal.
My name is Marixa, and I'm 33 years old. My suffering started when I was a little child. I went through some things that really affected me, and I didn't really talk about it to anyone until I was 11 years old. I was molested in my life by 3 different people. The first time, I was left unattended, or with a family member. And the second was actually by a girl, which was very, you don't know what to think. And then the one that was someone close to the family was over the year. And it ended around age 11. And that's when I was able to talk about it to my mom. But my mom did something that I didn't expect that broke me even more. She told me that I had to pick what to do. She says, you have to pick to forgive, or you have to pick if this person goes to jail. Because if this person goes to jail, when someone goes and they're accused of child molestation, they can get raped in jail too. She made me pick, and she made me wear the burden of being an adult when I wasn't one. So she made me feel guilty because I have a little sister and a little brother, that this person going to jail would affect all of us. So I said, fine, I forgive. It didn't change what was happening inside of me. That whole time I felt dirty. I thought about ways to get rid of what I was feeling. I thought about suicide at the age of 11. I thought about running away. And to ease the thoughts about suicide, I started cutting myself. I used razor blades, and I ended up falling in love with the wrong person for the wrong reasons, because I wanted just to leave. It made things worse because now I was a mother with, very young mother with kids, and I have 4 kids. So things after I got married, it seemed to be okay for a little bit, and then everything would go bad. This happened every time. It was like you were good for 1 month, everything was bad. You were good for 2 months, everything was bad. When my husband was far away, I missed him. But when he was close to me, I wanted to punch him. I would go to sleep crying every night because I had a complexion that I was not worthy. I cried because I didn't know why everything had to come out wrong in my life. Every time I walked by another woman, I already thought she was prettier than me. And when I walked by and people were talking, I already thought that they were talking bad things about me. When I stopped working, I started looking for work again. And I ended up at an interview in an office where the lady who was the owner there, she went to the Universal Church. She told me, Marixa, I want to take you to a place where they're going to teach you to learn your faith. When I got to the church, there was a purpose for deliverance, and nobody would sleep at the house. Nobody. After the deliverance, there was peace in my house. We could all sleep. I remember just looking at my kids, and everybody was just like in peace, quiet. And it was the most amazing thing that happened when I was delivered. My husband told me, like, I don't know how long later, but he says, you know what? When you started going to that church, see, you changed. You started to focus on yourself. You started to be determined. So this drove me to seek the Holy Spirit. As I seeked him, though, I learned to love him above everything else. I learned that my only one intention would be to please God and to be filled. And I seek. And before I did that prayer, I told the devil that his time was over in my life. I said, that's it, you're done. And God, he came down over me. And when he came over me, he healed me. He healed my wounds. He took me into his arms, and it's not an emotion, it's just a certainty of what's happening in that moment. And he showed me how great he is, how big, how there's not enough words, but he also showed me I was not alone. Never again alone, never again the same person. And I started to look forward, and I started to know that everything I would do would come out right. My life is a blessing today. My kids and I, we sleep good. We have communion. We get along. Me and my husband, we get along. If he's close by, I love him. If he's far away too. I was able to forgive. It was very, very hard. Because once you get complected, then everyone is hurting you. So I had hate against a lot of people. But I forgave every single person. And I am with a great desire to live, to look forward, to fight for what I believe in. And everything that I had before, 100% gone. Depression, suicidal thoughts, the complex, the trauma that I had lived through, everything healed in my life. Totally, totally different.
It doesn't matter how you are, what your pain, or what your suffering is. Jesus Christ is telling you now, speak out, I'm all ears.
Hello to all, a very good evening. This is your program, Problems and Solutions. Have you searched for peace in many places? Do you think that peace can be found in a place? Do you think that peace can be found in something? Is peace a thing? Can you touch peace? Can you buy it? Well, we're going to be talking more about that in this program. Just like you watch this testimony, wonderful, a person's life being transformed, we're going to be watching other testimonies in this program. So pay close attention, stay tuned. I want you to text us right now what have been taking your peace away. You know that peace, it's very easy to be lost. You may be out of peace because you're worried with a son that is doing drugs, a family member who you don't know his or hers whereabouts. You have been maybe losing your peace because of the problems in your marriage, or you have no peace because you have no relationship, and you think that if you had somebody, you would be at peace at this moment. Maybe you are there tormented and not having your sleep because you have so many debts, so many bills to pay, and you don't know how you're going to do it because you don't have any money. And you think if you would have enough money, you would have this peace to sleep because your bills would be all paid off. Well, is that really true? Is that really enough to have money, to have somebody, and then you're going to have this peace? Or is it possible that you're going to move to a place like many people we cross every day? I've traveled to many countries, and everywhere you find people say, I wish I was living elsewhere. I wish I was living in another country. And is there really a country or a place where you go and say, here I have peace? Some people, they try to find refuge in music, in emotions, in movies, in things, distracting them from the realities of their life. That is a life without peace. That is a life tormented. That is a life full of stress and maybe traumas. Well, we'll be talking more about that. You can text us, WhatsApp us. You can see our website for more information. Because this Sunday now will be the encounter of peace. The Sunday where you're going to encounter with peace. Yes, you will encounter with peace. Stay tuned. We're going to watch more testimonies and I'll be right back talking more about it. And you who say, I want to know more. How can I really have peace in me? In myself, in my inner self to have peace. Stay tuned and we'll be back straight after this life stories.
Zanicia, and before I was going through a health problem. It was a chronic fatigue issue that I had. So previously I was able to go to work, do what I needed to do. I had energy. But after some time, I realized that I was housebound. So I couldn't leave the house. I couldn't do simple stuff like personal care. I couldn't come to the meetings. I couldn't do absolutely anything. I could just about move around the house because I had absolutely no energy. And when I would go to the doctors, they first said maybe it's depression. And I said, I'm not depressed. They said maybe it's this. They tried to give some medication, but everything that they tried, it wasn't working. So whereas a normal person, for example, they would be able to get through a whole day's work, me just getting up and getting ready in the morning, it finished my energy. I had nothing. I had no energy to do anything, and I was feeling weak all the time, sick all the time, dizzy. I had different symptoms that I was facing, spinning, adrenaline through the night, just many different symptoms were popping up. So when I participated in a purpose that we was doing, that was for the water, the blessed water, and I started to drink that. I started to see over a period of time that I started to gain energy. I was able to get my energy back, and today I'm working full time. I'm back to a busy day's life. Obviously now it's balanced, but I'm back to a normal day's work. I'm able to deal with family. I'm able to come to church. I'm able to work, do my side business, do the youth work that I do. I'm able to do everything with no problems.
It started from primary school. I was really angry. I got in loads of fights.
I used to steal money from women that I used to sleep with back in the days when I was to be small.
Then I got older. I started getting involved with selling drugs. I started getting involved with gangs, with knives, people that had guns, girls. Girls started getting pregnant, things like this, and it just got worse.
I used to drink a lot as well. I had drinking problems. I used to smoke a lot, and sometimes I get involved with different women. So I used to sleep with any kind of women that I just had a desire to sleep behind with women and stuff. So that's how I used to live before. That's how my lifestyle used to be.
Most of the guys I was hanging around with started to go to prison, and it even got to a level where a drug deal that we did went wrong, and then I ended up with a gun put to my head. I thought that was the last day of my life.
When I was doing it, I thought, well, that was how I was supposed to live. You know, that was the best thing to do in life.
Coming to the church, I found support with other youths who were just like me.
But it came to a moment where we had a campaign of Israel.
And they gave me support when I needed it most. When I felt down, when I felt like I couldn't take things no more, they were always there to give me support.
Even though I was living that life, there was something in my mind to tell me, is that, oh, you can actually live your life.
And that literally gave me the push, the urge to change, and I did.
But I couldn't drink anymore. And then from that, I had to cut off friends and, smoking, all those things. And then I stopped from there.
Because of that, I'm not involved with gangs no more. I'm not getting in fights. I don't even need to look over my shoulder to say, okay, who's looking for me?
I learned that through the campaign, you have to depend on God. You have to show your trust in God. It's not just enough to say, I trust in God, but you don't manifest your faith.
Who am I going to get into problems with now? Who am I going to get into fights with now? Who wants to kill me?
And now I'm a transformed person now. I don't need to depend on the old life anymore.
And I'm happy. I'm truly happy. I'm at peace with myself.
I feel free now. I have my freedom. So I believe that the campaign does actually work.
I found the UCKG when I was just passing by one day, and the moment I came in, I found help. I was receiving guidance on how to change my life.
I found help that I didn't find in the world. I knew people here didn't judge me. I knew I could speak openly and freely and open up to someone about everything that was going on inside of me and know that they would help me.
God can change my life. If I use my faith, I can change everything what I have first inside in me, and after that, outside everything.
By trusting in God, you can achieve whatever you want. It's a great blessing. And through that, I've seen the power of God in my family, in my health, in my finances, in all areas of my life.
Having the Holy Spirit enables me to do things more depending on God and relying on God in everything. And the Holy Spirit, He speaks all the time.
I have this happiness, this joy inside of me that I can radiate to everyone, and I can show them that the person I used to be before is not me anymore. The way I react, the way I am with other people is not the way I used to be, and I'm really happy right now.
I'm a completely different person. I'm happy. I can have a good conversation. I'm completely different. I'm not addicted. I'm free. I'm feeling well. So it's completely different thing.
Trusting in God and knowing that with God I can achieve anything. And I've seen that. I've seen the transformation in every area of my life, in my relationship with God, which is very, very important, because to know that your life does not depend on anyone.
Today I can say that I have a sweet life because I have seen a lot of improvements. I have seen a lot of changes. Not that everything is perfect, but I have the strength to fight for everything I want because I know God is with me, the Holy Spirit is with me.
Well, we are back here, and these wonderful life stories, these testimonies, they can be your testimony. You also can have your life turned around, your life transformed. What do you need to do? You need to encounter with peace. As I was speaking earlier in the program, peace is not a thing. Be sure of that. Peace is not a thing. It's not like a mobile phone that you buy on the shop. Peace is not like a place. A place does not mean peace. You have the best countries in the world. We are living here in Sweden, where people say is one of the best countries in the world, and still you have people committing suicide every day. You still have people that wish to end their lives because they have no peace. They're in torment. And so peace is not a place. You can't find peace in a place. You can move, you can have all the money of the world to move to a nice house, a nice place. There are people living in huge buildings, very expensive buildings, but they are there not having peace at all. There are people who does not know what is to sleep without taking a tablet. Those who have traumas. Those who have a husband but don't have peace because don't know where the husband is most of the time. Man who is married to a pretty woman, a nice lady, but he has no peace because he's worried if she's going to be faithful to him, or he's too jealous to let her go anywhere. People who say, I am happily married before others, but inside of their house, there is disrespect, there is abuse, and these people don't know really what is to have peace. Well, if peace is not a thing, neither a place, what is it then? Peace is a person. Yes, exactly. It's a person. Apostle Paul reveals to us in the book of Ephesians, chapter 2, verse 14. It says like this. Let's read. For he himself is our peace. He himself is our peace, who has both made one and has broken down the middle wall of separation. Well, Jesus is our peace. Apostle Paul reveals to us that Jesus is our peace. And if you want to have peace, you must meet with him. You must have him in you. Not the peace that you feel for a while when you pay that debt, when something goes well and you feel relaxed. No, don't confuse that. Because peace is not the absence of wars. No, not at all. Because although I have the presence of God in me, there will be many wars, many fights. Everyone is going to have to face problems every day. I'm talking to you serious. Every time there will be problems to be solved. There is no life free of problems. We always have them. So what then? How can I have peace who have troubles always, problems always? Well, is it well possible? Because although I have problems, although I have issues to solve, when I have peace in me, I will be able to solve every situation. And this is our invitation for you. This is what these people of the testimony they did. We're going to watch more testimonies. I'm going to get into the end of this program. I invite you, close this testimony, because it's a life story that could be yours tomorrow. Sunday we'll be here, 11 a.m. in Gothenburg, in our church here, and also in our church, in our headquarters in Stockholm. Sunday, 11 a.m., the day of the encounter with peace. And also in every universal church all over the world. Get into our website, uckg.se, and find the closest address to you. And do not miss this opportunity for you to meet with peace, to have an encounter with peace. Truly, your life will never be the same. And I ask you, what do you have to lose? I'm sure that if you have no peace, you have lost everything already. So come and see for yourself. Do this challenge. Accept this invitation. And your life will never be the same. May God bless all of you. We are getting to the end of this program. I will leave this wonderful life story with you and see you next time.
Your name?
Natasha.
Miss Natasha, what's the result of the chain of prayer?
I've seen a lot of changes. My health has gotten better. I don't have just one job now. I have two, and I'm able to work them both because one is one that you can work at any time, weekends included. So since I've been coming here, it's been a lot of difference I've been seeing. Not just my health, but my mother also saw a change. She decided to come. So it's something that I see that...
She saw the change in you and decided to come?
Yes. So I see that my family is getting better and my health is better.
Friday is a day of deliverance where strong prayers work.
Within your mighty hand, when the oceans rise and turn this road, I will soar with you above the storm. Father, you are king over the flood. I will be still, know you.
Until I know what's wrong with my daughter. If you want out, that's fine with me.